Hey Mountaineer fans, after a year of being stuck at home, you deserve all the latest WVU gear, gifts, and apparel to show your Mountaineer pride. Our friends at the Book Exchange are offering 25% off with our promo code BX4Final4. Let's cheer on all of our Mountaineer athletes in gold and blue and support local business too. Shop online at bookexchangewv.com or at their downtown Morgantown or Evansdale locations. That promo code again is BX4Final4.
Recorded live in Morgantown, West by God, Virginia, and across the world, with your hosts, Kevin Jones, John Flowers, and our lovely co-host, Ashley. This is the Final Forecast Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Final Forecast with me, your host, Jay Flo. Super real estate agent. You need some property in West Virginia, please reach out to me or Dave or KJ or anybody at the Final Forecast. Got my guy Kevin Jones with me.
Yeah.
What's going on, Brody?
Ain't nothing, man. Chilling. Can't call it. You?
What's up
Everything
with the job,
good?
bro? What's up with the job, bro? We going on vacation this summer or what, bro?
I don't know, man. I think I'm taking the J Flow approach to say that I'm retired. No, so I just figured it'll keep people off my case if I just say I'm retired because I can't find a job right now.
Hey, man. Got a spot for you down in Uruguay.
No, that's okay, man. I don't want to interrupt you. I want to interrupt what you got going on down there, so I appreciate it.
Nah, it's not me. It's not my thing, man. I'm just living life, man. Just enjoying it. You can come take this whole thing over if you want.
Oh, nah, that's okay, man. I appreciate the offer. Very sincere of you, but I'm good. But I don't even know if I could talk about. Well, I could talk about it. I had something lined up for Japan team, not my former team, but actually the rival of my former team. And Japan is like apparently very strict right now on letting people come into the border, especially from America, since they think we're all dirty. But I've been waiting for them. So technically I'm signed, but the way my contract is set up is that if they can't get a work visa for me to get another offer by another team. So that's kind of what I've been waiting for right now to see if they could get me in the country, which is not looking good right now.
You kind of in limbo right now, shit.
Yeah.
Is it stressful?
It is not so much. Well, financially, obviously, you want to go make money, but more for me, just because
you got enough money. But I'm saying you want.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. That's where and just doing the same. Literally, bro, I've been doing the same workout for 8 months now.
Yeah, bro.
Pretty much just 2 a day still, and that's the hardest part is staying focused and not getting lazy and not just being like, well, nothing's coming right now, so I'm gonna just take this week off or this whatever off and just trying to stay disciplined. That's the hardest part about everything. You know how that is sometimes.
Yeah. But you still practicing with the youngest?
Yeah, actually I practiced with them on Friday before yesterday's game. We're gonna get to that.
You didn't get them ready, huh?
Actually, I did. I think I got them too ready. I think actually what I was doing is exactly what happened.
What? Who were you on the scouting report?
The Williams guy. I think he's like Texas Tech leading scorer. I can't remember his first name. Something last name Williams or whatever. But
for those who don't know, like if one of the older guys comes into practice and practices with the team, we're designated to be one of the players on the other team on the scout. We call it the scout team. So if, say we were playing, I don't know, Davidson, and when they had Steph Curry, like I would be Steph Curry, and they would have to guard me like I was Steph Curry. You know,
I think the matchups will have to be realistic. I think that you have to.
I mean, we got the same jump shot, but you know, I'm shooting 46% from three right now. You didn't know that.
Oh no, I didn't know that, but I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't deny that. Listen, But you said in college. This you're talking about now. We're talking about in college.
That was just an example.
Oh, okay. Got you.
But nah, everybody, you can go hashtag JFlow shooting 46% from 3.
We got to check those stats because you said it and I believe you because you're my man. But let's just double check the facts. Whatever.
Tag Coach Huggins in that form. I appreciate it.
Free J, put your Free J Flow shirts on. but
practice was good the night before. Like,
all right, so I'm be honest with the viewing with the public, with the listeners. So it depends. Like practice sometimes can be bad the game before, and you can come out and have a great start to the game. And they definitely had a great start to the game. But the way practice was going the day before, obviously Taz was out, so that's a big key, having your leading scorer out. But also it just kind of seemed like, how it is, man, when losses are like piled on, it's just the atmosphere is just kind of negative. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of how it was. Everybody was sulking after every mistake. There was nobody. I mean, people were trying to encourage, but it was just the atmosphere just wasn't good, and I could just tell. And me.
Go ahead. My bad.
No, I was saying me, as my job is like the older guys, to see that and try to keep on encouraging everybody. They make a good play or something like that. Tell them to keep their heads up and just kind of give them my knowledge. That's what I more try to do than anything. I don't go in there with the intention to. Obviously, I want to work on my stuff because it's helping me as well to stay ready for whenever I get a job. But also my thing is to just go in there and just try to give as much knowledge as I can and try to help them, get out of this hole that they in right now.
What are you telling them though? Like, because Gabe reached out to me and was like, man, well, that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
He reached out to me and was like, yeah, what's up? Like, what can we do? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, man, y'all just got to do the little things, man. Just like box out, give rebounds, play defense like y'all supposed to play defense. You know what I'm saying? It's just little mistakes that make them lose games. It costs them at the end of the game. That's what I think.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think also this team has yet to have an identity. Like, what can you say is our identity? Like, if you look at this team, what can you say that we're absolutely good at? I mean, our defense is spotty. Sometimes we play great defense, sometimes not so great. Rebounding, I can't say we're a great rebounding team. Like, what is our call? Every team has a calling card. Every team has an identity. I don't think our team has one. This team this year. So I think that's the hardest part to deal with, is because you got to have something you can lean on when things get tough, that, we know if nothing else is going right, we can do this right. And I don't think that this team has one, which is tough.
Yeah. We lost, that's 7 in a row now?
Bro, I don't even, 7. I don't know is that a record for Hugs? Like, most losses in a row?
Nah, wasn't it your year they all lost 7?
No, it's not. It
was the year after you or the year before you? I mean, it was one of your years. I don't know. You were there.
It wasn't one of my years. My year, we made the NCAA tournament, so.
Oh, yeah, Ethan's here. I forgot. Damn. Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan.
Yeah. I looked up, actually. 2013 was the last
So
time
the year after me.
Oh,
7 in a row.
Yeah.
I graduated 2012, so yeah.
I like to put things on KJ. It all started with KJ.
It all started.
That was Wani's senior year?
That was Wani's first year, because remember, Wani and Eric Murray was a red shirt when I was a senior. So that was their first year playing.
That was the Eric Murray era.
Which lasted era. 1 year.
Wild era there. But nah, man, I just think they just need to fix the little things, and I think Sean is kind of mad at me right now.
McNeil?
Yeah.
Why?
So,
what happened?
I said something. So from the Baylor game, you remember the Baylor game, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a clip like going around the internet where he got pushed in the back for an offensive rebound. Obvious foul, like.
Yeah.
Dude with the mullet, he's 6'11", Sean. He did box him out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obvious pushing him back. But my thing is, like, the fans were like saying, hey, this should have been a foul. They basically trying to just blame the refs on the loss. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, we got to look at ourselves first. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just look at the refs and be like, oh, they should have made this call. Like, what if I basically said if Sean would have just made sure he didn't get the rebound, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You're a great rebounder. So I don't know your technique for rebounding, but me on the defensive end, I'm just trying to make sure my man doesn't get the rebound. So if I got to face guard him or whatever, chuck him, hit him or something, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if he pushes me in the back. Like, so basically I was saying, like, if Sean would have just boxed out, then it would have forced the refs to make the call. So this game, fast forward to this game, first 2 plays of the game, whatever. Sean boxed out. Like, he actually did what you imagine him to be doing. You know what I'm saying? He actually did it. So I tweeted, good box out, Sean, with like the claps. He texted me after the game and was like, yo, is this sarcastic? Are you being sarcastic with this?
Because you probably was.
No, I wasn't. He really boxed out. Like, yeah, it was cool. And I mean, they just lost. He's frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know how it is, bro. Yeah, with people piling on, like, you know how it is, bro.
Yeah, but they should know me. Like, out of all people, I would never talk shit about the players. But Gabe hit me and was like, "Yo, can you delete this tweet for me?" I was like, "Nah, I can't do that, bro."
you know how it is, bro. Any little thing will set you off. Especially, we're not gonna pretend like where, you know, the atmosphere is the most productive, or it's not like it's when you lose, it's just, oh man, that shit is the worst feeling in the world. And we never been through a 7-game losing streak. We've been through like maybe 2, maybe lost 2, maybe 3 at the most in a row. But you know how that is. Everybody's tense. Every little thing, every little mistake is magnified. So you know, if this was any other time, Sean probably wouldn't have took it no kind of way, you know what I mean? But
and you also have to take into account, like, they're probably getting it from Coach Huggs like crazy right now. So I mean, after that Baylor game, Huggs probably said the same exact thing I said about Sean, but in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
So I ain't even, like, I can imagine like what the team is going through right now. You know what I'm saying? From the fans, from the coaches, from everybody. You know, so they probably are looking at us to be in their corner, and I am. You know what I mean? But
me too.
Sometimes I just give my 2 cents.
And that's also, you know, we would think that we would have the maturity that if somebody like one of our old heads came up to us and would have been like, well, you know what I mean, said something like that, or that we would have been mature about it. But we probably wouldn't have been mature about it either if somebody said.
They did though, bro. Like, they did. But, Huggs used to bring his guys in from Cincinnati. I don't know if you remember this or not, bro. But one of them came in. I forgot which one it was, bro. I want to say Fortson. It was one of I don't know. I forgot which one it was.
Was it Hicks? It might have been Eric Hicks.
Nah, not him. But you know how he used to be on our ass too.
Yeah, I remember he worked out with Dan Jennings during the summer. Yo, that had to be the funny, because you know how Dan Jennings is. So imagine those two dudes' personalities working.
Yeah.
It was the funniest shit ever, but I swear.
One of them came to practice, bro, and I think I missed a box out, and somebody like had a putback dunk, and dude was in the stands. He was like, "Yeah, that was me." A hug, you know how Hugs is. He's like, "You see that? You see that?" And dude was like, "Yeah, if that was me, I'll beat the hell out of whoever didn't box out." No, it's our practice, bro.
Yo, yeah. And imagine how annoying that was, though,
bro.
Like, that's super annoying.
They're always talking about. Huggs is always talking about his old guys and what they used to do and what we don't do and who's coming in, and
And that's why, like, even when I practice with them, I try to, I don't know, I guess I would say tread lightly, even though I know I'm welcome. But I've been around a bunch of times, and Huggs is using me as an example to the other guys about, you know, not working hard or whatever like that. So I try to find a balance of giving them information and then also letting them rock and like letting them figure it out by themselves. Cause
you take it easy on them.
I do.
You you don't cry. You're not the asshole that's cutting back door.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'll do it because they'll be like, hey, you got to get them right. So I'll do it once in a while, but I'm not trying to. My goal is not to go in there and kill. It's more like to teach than anything. Like, yeah, I think that's more effective, especially what they got going on now.
So Ethan, coming up, what's your prediction for the rest of the season, man? Like, what's the schedule for the rest of the season? I mean, what's your prediction on our record for the rest of the season, should I say?
So they got 9 games left in the regular season. I think the magic number, just for them being in a power conference like the Big 12, magic number wins probably 18. They're at 13 now, so they just need to win 5 games in those 9 games or win a game in the conference tournament
to make it to the tournament.
Yeah, at least in the Dayton.
And when you say make it into the tournament, are you talking about as a last 4 in kind of situation, or are you talking about like firmly in the tournament?
I think 17, 18 wins get you in Dayton. 19 would get you into the field.
Okay.
Do we have any big wins?
UConn at home, UAB on the road.
Yeah.
UAB's good. UAB's actually going to be looking like a really good win.
UConn, UAB. What about the Clemson win? Is that still holding up or no?
That's a quadrant 2. I mean, it's good, but
it's not really.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about the Big 12, man, is that you still have, out of the 9 games you got left, you probably still got, 3, 4 more ranked teams? But that's the bad thing about it, too, is that you got 3 or 4 more ranked teams because that's potentially 3 or 4 more L's that you might take. So the good and bad thing about being in the Big 12 and how good the conference is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Luckily, 8 out of the next 9 games are quadrant 1 games, so any win's going to be a really good win. Just the hardest part is them winning. That's the issue.
And Taz will be back. So
did you see Taz?
Yeah. All right. So I was thinking this in my head, and I don't know if did you watch the whole Baylor game, right, John?
Yeah. Yes.
I was thinking, like, when Taz came out of the game, I was like, yo, he has to go back in the game. Like, yeah. I don't know what I was like, bro, I know if he doesn't come back in the game, I know he's going to hear it. Because in my view, I thought he just got like poked in the eye or something. Right? And I'm like, yo, he's definitely coming back in the game. So when he went back to the locker room, I was like, if this was one of us, like if anything, our teammates is like, nah, you getting back in the game. You know what I mean? So when he didn't, I was like, man, that's kind of, I don't know. And then when I seen him and he explained to me what happened and like how he had a concussion and he's like his jaw was swollen after the play and all that. And I'm like, okay, I could kind of see it, but in the moment I'm like, yo, you gotta go back in the game. Like you're killing. That's that's first of all. And even if you're just a decoy, at this point, just you being on the court can help like the morale of the team.
Yeah, I was gonna tweet something, but I'm glad I didn't. Now
stay away from Twitter, bro.
Now that I know that they got like their feelings get hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like they can't take the criticism like we used to take the criticism. But I'm like, man, that's what I was going to tweet was that's basically what separates a Deshaun Butler and anybody nowadays or any of the greats, man. Like I basically said that though, like it's 3 minutes left in the game, bro. 3 minutes, bro. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like, the pain he was going through or none of that. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look that bad on TV, but you never know, you know what I mean? So, speedy recovery to him, man.
Yeah, facts.
Keep going.
And that's the thing about Taz. I think that if he really could have played, I don't want to put that on him like he just quit on the team, like, or whatever like that for whatever reason. Because I feel like if he felt like he could have played, then he would have finished the game. But it was just like something I noticed that I'm like, damn. Like I want to be empathetic of him, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, I'm coming back in the game. Like I don't care, like what's going on. I'll figure it out after the game is over. But I'm definitely coming back in the game.
So they kept citing concussion protocols. So is there a thing where if they suspect a concussion, they have to take you out of the game?
I don't think that. I mean, that's never been a thing. Maybe that might be something new, but I don't know.
I would say it's on the player, bro. If he was like, yo, I'm going back in this game.
They not stopping. They not stopping him from coming back in the game.
Yeah.
So
it must have been bad.
yeah.
Like we got that from Hugs though, right? Like just the toughness. Like we couldn't miss practice because of a sprained ankle. You know what I mean? Like we had to tape it up and keep going. Just go get treatment whenever. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot different now. And Hugs used to say like all the time, they had to shock me back to life. What do you say to Rudolph?
Yo,
like,
I can't remember, bro.
They would have had to cut my arm off for me not to want to play.
You get the like just the way he's trying to say it, but it's like, come on, bro. Like,
but in a way, it's kind of true though. Like, but nowadays,
you think
like,
so though?
you kind of get it because it's more like Taz has a lot more basketball left to play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you don't want to risk anything. You got to put everything in perspective now.
Yeah, facts. And that's the thing too, is that, yeah, that sounds good. And then you go out there and you get hurt more than you were hurt before. So it's like, yeah, we were kind of dumb in that sense. Like, yeah, we would run through a brick wall for Coach Huggins, and that's what we wanted to do because that's how much we wanted to win. And we took, you take on the personality of coach most of the time. But at the same time, that doesn't mean it was the best thing for you to do or the best thing for your future. So you got to take that into account too.
But you, like, at what point do you say, all right, I'm representing this right now? You know what I'm saying? Because in college, you play for 4 years, right? So we represent the state. Like, yeah, we will run through a brick wall for the state, for Hugs, for all of this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, oh, I got this coming up next. If you keep saying, I got to get ready for the NBA or I got to get ready for this, like, when does it stop? Because most guys go overseas and you only sign a 1-year contract. So say you're killing in the first part of the season or whatever, you average 20 or whatever, you just going to stop because you're getting ready for the next contract. You just going to keep getting ready for the next contract. So that, like, how do you make that decision? Like, all right, we going all out for this. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like,
it's hard, man. I mean, to each person has their own motivation for doing what they do or for playing the way they play. I just think with everything going on now, man, everything I feel like is incentivized for you, like, not to play. I don't want to say not to play hard, but the way that we used to look at things and the way Coach Huggins used to coach, I think everything is incentivized now because it's like, if I don't like what you're saying, if I don't like the way like you're talking to me, I'm not just going to sit there and do it. Now I have the option to go somewhere and I don't have to sit out for a year, or like everything, like nothing is making you fight through anything anymore. Like if I don't want to go back in after a concussion, you're not going to make me guilt trip me or whatever into going back in. Like there's nothing stopping you from doing that anymore.
This is different times, man. Like that I got to get used to, and everybody else has to get used to.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's not necessarily bad. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, I think it's a level of toughness that's missing for sure when you have situations like that. So yeah. It is what it is, man.
Something else that was jumping on Twitter, had mad mentions on this. Oscar Tshiebwe. Did you read the news on this, Ethan? Oscar is ranked the #1 college player by CBS, I think it is. Number one college basketball player in the land right now. So,
sure, that makes everybody happy.
Oh man, is that okay? So we're gonna keep it super real. Is this a bad look on Coach Hugs the way Oscar's playing right now?
Keeping it super real.
We keeping it real.
I don't think it's an indictment. I don't think it's an indictment on Coach Hugs. You know what I'm saying? Like that happened. That's what people are trying to say. Like you don't have to shit on one person to praise another person. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
Oscar went. He left. He made the right decision. I mean, clearly he made the right decision for him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, be happy for him. Be happy that he put on a WVU jersey, you know what I'm saying, at one point in time.
Facts. I definitely agree with that. And then also, but here's my question now. Do you think he would have did this, what he's doing now at Kentucky, do you think he would have been able to do that at WVU? The numbers he's putting up, do you think he would have did this at WVU?
Yeah.
Okay, I think so too. Eventually,
because we miss more shots than Kentucky's players miss. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would have made our team a lot better. Like, but we shot 4 for 32 or something like that, Ethan, in the second half.
Yeah, 4 of 32 in the second half.
oh,
So think about how many rebounds that's for Oscar that would have been. You know what I mean?
maybe averaging 20. 20
I mean,
rebounds.
Oscar almost gets half of West Virginia's rebounds as a team this year, based on average.
That's stupid, bro.
He would have had more responsibility on his plate. Like, he would have had to learn how to score a little bit. You know what I'm saying? With his back to the basket. But he could have did that here. And you know, Hugs love rebounders and all that stuff. I think Oscar's problem was he didn't like how he was being treated while he was here. That's not saying Hugs treated him bad.
Yeah.
That's saying that you're not going to be spoon-fed.
Yeah. And again, not everybody can play for Hugs. Like, and I say that, I don't want that to sound like bad in a bad way. I say that because Hugs is going to hold you accountable. Like, you're not just going to just breeze by and do whatever you want. He's going to hold you accountable. That's why I say, especially with the, you know, the kind of new generation now, you're not just going to do whatever you want to do. When I say you and everybody can play for Hugs. So that's kind of more of a, you know, a credit to Hugs, is that he holds people to a certain standard that you're just not going to do whatever you want to do. So I think that, okay, so now when we say best player in college, I feel like more polished players, but just like overall numbers, you can't argue with the overall 16 and 15. Like, that's ridiculous. But
it's a man amongst boys.
That's man amongst boys. But from a talent perspective, like from strictly polished, like all around, I can't say he's the best player in the country, but he's definitely like top 5, top 10 at the least.
Yeah, he's not a bad player, you know what I mean? Like, he's up there, but he's not. I don't think he's the number one player. Like, I've seen it's other big men, like you said, it's just more polished talent wise, you know what I mean? But he's doing his thing, man.
Yeah, shout out to Oscar, man.
And I go to like just back again to the times that we live in. Like, it's not just Coach Hugs. Like, when a kid leaves and is successful somewhere else or not successful somewhere else, like, that's just the times that we live in, man. Like, and it happens all over the world. Like, you just might end up in a situation where it just doesn't work out with the coach. It's not the right system. It's not the right whatever. So it's not an indictment on Coach Hugs. It's not nothing on Oscar. Even though we all can agree we do not like the way that Oscar left the situation.
Facts. That's the only thing he did. I mean, he didn't do anything else wrong besides that. Like, he, you know, but hey, it worked out for, well, I was gonna at the 7 games before, if you told me it worked out for both parties, I would have said yeah. But right now it's tough sledding. But I think they'll get it back. We got Iowa State next. I think that's a very winnable game. They lost by 20 to somebody, I think, yesterday. Who they lose to yesterday, Ethan?
Texas.
They lost to Texas by 20. So we got them at home. I think we could get that. That'd be a great start. And yeah.
Do we need Taz back?
Oh yeah, for sure.
To win, we need Taz back.
Yeah.
I mean, they almost beat Texas Tech yesterday. That was a winnable game. They should have won that game, actually.
Of course, but with Taz, do we win that game with Taz?
No.
And that's the difference.
Taz to win that game.
Yes.
All right.
Because you see, we didn't win the game.
Yeah, you're right.
But also, we didn't win the game when we played with him. So I don't know. You never know, bro. But shout out to the little bros, man. They working hard, and it's a rough patch. Hopefully, they could fight their way out of it. And yeah, so.
Oh, Deshaun. Yeah. My God.
Hopefully, he'll join us for when the TBT offer comes in the mail. Hopefully, he doesn't use that against us.
Definitely not playing TBT, man. He didn't even write me back, bro. Like, I sent him, I was like, come on, bro. You know I wouldn't.
He left you on red?
Left me on red. I'll be back soon, though. It's all good. I'm not tripping.
Help spread the word about our podcast. Leave us a review and tell a friend.
Oh, I was gonna say I wanted to talk about something because I had this conversation the other day, just transitioning totally for something different, talking about like Tesla and how they're making cars that drive themselves, where you could just, I guess, type in your location or whatever, and it just take you there. You don't have to do nothing else. And my thoughts was always like, okay, yeah, that's all cool and all, but how you gonna account for other people's driving? Like if everything was automated, like everybody's cars was the same, I'm like, all right, okay, I could feel more comfortable. But you still got to worry about other people driving. Like that's what I don't. That's why I'm like not on it like that.
Yeah,
I don't think I can fully trust it.
I mean, you fully trust the. Oh, you talking about other people? I mean, how many accidents has it been? Like, there's a bunch of questions I have. We can get into this wormhole. Like, has there been a bunch of
I don't know if there's been a bunch of accidents, but the one that stand out, Dave got it pulled up right now, is like somebody was charged with manslaughter because the autopilot crash. So it's like technically you didn't have anything to do with crash, and then I think it killed 2 people. And the person that's technically driving in the car had nothing to do with it. And the wiring went crazy and it did whatever.
Right, so let's dig deeper into the wormhole. Yeah. Like we see videos of these dumbass people all the time, like sitting in the back of the Tesla. Was this dude behind the wheel? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you're supposed to technically be behind the wheel of the car when you're driving. So like, there's a bunch of questions. Like, was he behind the wheel? Because I can't see them charging this dude with a crime if he was actually behind the wheel of the.
But again, what does being behind the wheel mean if you're not controlling the car anyway?
Because
you're not controlling.
You're seeing like what's going on. Like you're seeing if someone runs out in the middle of the road, you can hit the brakes still. You know what I mean?
Can you? That's the question. I guess that's the question I have, is that when you put it in this mode, are you completely carefree, or are you still somewhat operating the car?
You're supposed to be paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still laws, like you can't be on your phone. Like you're still technically driving the car. Like you're supposed.
Well, then that's stupid. Then what's the point of? To me, I'm sorry, that's stupid. If I pay for a car that's gonna get me there without me actually manually having to drive, like I don't know. I think that's stupid.
Like cruise control. You go to Charleston a lot.
Yeah.
Cruise control helps a lot. Like you don't have to have your foot on the gas the whole time. You ain't got to worry about speeding tickets. You ain't got to worry about not necessarily turning the car or nothing, but you're just chilling. Like you could chill. You could still be alert and chill, right?
Yeah, but I think, I mean, the way it was, I seen it as like you just totally forget, like you could fucking sleep while the car is on the road. I could be wrong, but that's the way that people were making it seem. Like it was just like the car take control of you. You're not in control of anything. So okay, go ahead.
That's what people do though. Like that's why they probably charge this guy with. What did that say, Dave? That's probably why they charged this guy though, because he probably was like not driving. I don't want to jump to conclusions or nothing, but what?
But let's just say you're a judge and this guy comes into a court and he's like, yo, man, I bought this car. Like, technically I wasn't driving the car. You know, it was supposed to be safe. And it was nothing that he did or he could have done to stop what happened. So how can you possibly charge him with manslaughter?
Because he's still an operational vehicle. Like he has to be in control. It's like pilots use autopilot, but they still have to control the vehicle on landing and takeoff. So like they're still in control of the vehicle, even though autopilot exists.
No, but what I'm saying, but it said it was a malfunction in the car, right?
Yeah, that's messed up.
So that's what I'm saying. If there's nothing you can do about, I get that. If I'm flying a plane and I'm on autopilot and the plane's engines just go out for whatever reason, what can I do about? I can't do nothing about that after that point.
Good point, KJ.
That's what I'm trying to say.
KJ 1, Dave 0. Yes, that's a good point.
Like there's nothing you can do whether you're alert or not. It's like
it has to.
You're out of control.
It has to be more to that story. But my thing, like, I always just see videos of people just doing dumb stuff behind the wheel of a Tesla. Just like, would you do that? Like, you wouldn't get in the passenger seat and just let your car just go? Like, it's capable of doing that. Like, but would you do that?
Fuck no. I can't. I'm not putting my. Well, I can't say that, man, because we do stuff all the time, putting our hands in the fate, like our fate in the hands of a machine. But to the point, go ahead.
Even a pilot, bro, that shit pissed me off. Like when we in the air and you see the pilot walk out the car, I'm like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Get your ass back in there.
That's the worst thing.
Co-pilot's for though.
Apparently they do it all the time though. Like it's a pilot that stays in my hotel when he comes in, but he tells me all the time, like he says it's the easiest job. Like you push a few buttons, you take off, push a few buttons, and the plane does the rest. They basically just sit there, bro. That's
so
basically
pilots are not necessary, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's gonna come to that point, bro. Like it's gonna get there eventually. There will be self-flying planes eventually, but there will be someone always behind there in case anything happens. Yeah. But I think their pay we were talking about that. Like I think pilots will get paid less, and their jobs will become obsolete eventually. Like because there will be self-flying planes eventually.
Bro, this is the start of iRobot, man. This is how it all ends. This is when we build machines that's smarter than us and shit just start taking over. This is how it starts, man.
I think I read that a robot got pregnant or reproduced itself or something like that. That's so on everything. It's like one of those like nano robots though, like a little joint, like it recreated itself.
I ain't gonna. What if you got like? What if somebody had like a robot like sex doll or whatever and they got it pregnant?
Bruh. That's on Rick and Morty. Bruh, you gotta watch Rick and Morty, bro. Rick and Morty predicted the pandemic.
Did they?
Like it's a genius show, bro. You gotta watch it, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. What do you do though? Like you can't you like yo, I don't want this baby.
And the show, what happened? In the show, what happened in the show? Like it was really like a sex robot, and Morty had a baby with it. Like it had a baby. I forgot what they did, but it's a great show. You should go watch it, bro. I can't believe you ain't watched it yet.
Nah, I'm not watching when somebody has sex with a toy robot. Sorry.
Open up your mind, bro.
I'm not watching that. But that's wild. It's just wild to see what we can do and like the technology we produce. And I think, man, I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like it might ultimately be the undoing of mankind. Outsmart ourselves.
Ethan, if you could find a robot that has sex, would you do it?
Hell no.
Would you? I don't know why I think that's a lie.
Not with a robot.
Seems like the type.
Ethan, look at this robot in Rick and Morty. You wouldn't have sex with that?
No. Hell no.
You're lying.
Don't let them trick you.
Would you answer the question, John?
If I could find a robot that looked exactly, and I could like model it to exactly like what I wanted, like, yeah, I would. Absolutely.
But if it can but if it can reproduce, but if it can't, then okay, cool.
I feel like the robot is the reason it makes sex safer. Like you don't have to worry about STDs, you don't have to worry about getting anybody pregnant.
You wouldn't be creeped out by it?
An emotional attachment. You don't have to worry about a whole everything that you have to worry about with a human. I think a robot is the reason they take that away, right?
So would you use it just for sex, or would you like, if obviously you're married now, but if you were single, would you have a robot girlfriend?
Even if I am, is that cheating?
Yo, let's get into that.
If I had a sex robot in the basement in the closet, and I just, instead of masturbating, I go get my sex robot, what's the problem?
You would have to ask Jess that.
That is a good question. I should call her.
Be like, yo, if
all our new listeners from our Pat White interview that we are talking about adult themes in this episode.
Yo, that is that though? Because technically it's not a living thing, or is it?
Dave, do we have the ability to call someone? Or no?
I can invite them in. I don't have a call out number.
No, we're not doing that.
Huh? Interesting. Let's
is an interesting
we should
topic.
take a vote, or we should take a poll or something that
Could be a great person to bounce this off too. Is
No, it's not, because Ash doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't care. She doesn't think that's. She already knows she wouldn't think that was cheating.
yeah,
But-
Ash wouldn't think that was cheating.
Yeah, but that brings you to another point. This wormhole that we're in, the metaverse.
What is that? I keep on hearing people talk. What is that?
It's basically a virtual reality world.
Okay.
Right, so you can go there and do things. Like you have your own life there. Like it's like Grand Theft Auto, right? You play Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
so you can like have your character, and it's just a big world that you just live in, and you could do all this. You could buy land,
It's The
Like, you know,
Sims.
car, yeah. But you got on like your virtual reality glasses. So
Oh,
you're
okay. So you're
living
actually
it.
in, okay.
Yeah, like you could buy virtual reality like tickets to games and stuff. Like they're setting that up. They're doing like concerts. Like it sounds cool. You know what I mean?
So are you doing all this by yourself, or are you with a like group of people? Like what's going on? Like
It's a bunch of people in the metaverse. Ethan, maybe you could chime in. You got your glasses on.
So I know about the metaverse.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I mean,
No, I
you know
don't.
about it? You don't? Oh, okay.
Metaverse is such an old idea. It's just virtual reality. It's like it's nothing new, and nobody wants it. Like think about how many times Kevin has to ask me for help to install Chrome. You think Kevin's going on the metaverse and figuring life out? Like think about the people that use Facebook and how many times they get hacked, and then they're going to be in the metaverse in a 3D world.
Mm.
what does that have to do with anything, Dave? what was your point of saying that?
Because like the metaverse is, oh, you got to get a headset, you got to plug it in, you got to know what you're doing in the alternate reality. People can't even get their Facebook passwords secure. Like this is a thing that's going to take years and years and years and years, and people are already sick of it. Like Facebook is down. Their stock is down because people think Meta sucks shit.
Yeah, I heard Facebook is like dead or something. People like death to Facebook or something like that. I don't know what that means, but
Why is that?
Like-
It's not because of the metaverse though. Like, I don't think it's because of the metaverse, but I think the metaverse.
$1 billion. Oh, it lost $230 billion, 26% based on like what it's spending on the metaverse that nobody really wants.
Bro, it's gonna pay off eventually. Like, this is a great idea in a way. Like, say if I want to go to a concert but don't want to go to a concert, if I can experience that from my living room, it's gonna work. It's gonna work out eventually. You know what I mean?
and how many times have people been like, okay, I don't know how to use this, so I'm not going to use it. And then the moment their friend gets it or somebody they know gets it, that they're like, oh, yo, this is cool. Like I'm a learn, even if I didn't like it or wasn't on it at first, that I want to learn now. Like it's just like anything, everything is copycat. People
Dave
see other
sounds
people
like-
doing it and having fun.
Dave just sounds like one of those old people. He has a point. Like, old people will not understand the metaverse,
Yeah.
but the younger kids coming up nowadays absolutely will.
Dave probably got
Absolutely.
kicked out the metaverse.
Facts. But
And
back to the topic though, like if you have a girlfriend in the metaverse, is that cheating? It's a fake reality.
that's a real
bro. It's-
person though. Like that's a real person in the metaverse.
It's a
that's a real
fake
person.
reality. The metaverse is not real though. It's not a real place.
The whole point of
It's
the
fake.
metaverse is that it's supposed to be real. It's supposed to be real in a virtual way.
Someone got gang raped in the metaverse already. I
What?
think. Yeah, I read about that.
Oh, nah, I'm not going into this. Shit sounds crazy.
Ethan, you
could
heard
get-
about that?
No, I didn't hear about that, John.
You you could do what? Oh, I thought this was just like happy stuff. I didn't know that they was doing. Can you get robbed and all like there's looting and shit in the
Pull
metaverse?
that
too?
up, Dave.
So this is real life. Like
Sounds
this
like
is-
anything can happen in the metaverse.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
not-
like.
It's not.
Dangerous.
Metaverse has a.
Subscription wall. So basically, people were getting groped in the metaverse, and now they're putting like a 4-foot safety bubble around people because people keep doing it.
What?
I'm trying to find a free article that isn't going to tell me
See, that's the thing, man. You got the metaverse. You're gonna have freaks and like all the regular people that's in there too. You're gonna have the weird people, the weirdos in there too.
Yeah,
that's just gonna do shit like that. Like,
definitely have to figure that out for sure.
You might have to start running background checks for people who want to get.
Yeah, for sure.
For real, like that's not even a joke. Like for real.
I don't know how you can get groped in a virtual reality world though. Like I don't understand how that happens. Is there a video of this or something? Like I don't know how you can get.
In the letter, Bellamere described entering a multiplayer mode where all characters were exactly the same, save for their voices. In between a wave of zombies and demons to shoot down, I was hanging out next to Big Bro 442, waiting for our next attack. Suddenly, Big Bro 442's disembodied helmet faced me dead on. His floating hand approached my body, and he started to virtually rub my chest. Stop, I cried. This goaded him on. And even when I turned away from him, he chased me around, making grabbing and pinching motions near my chest. Emboldened, he shoved his hand toward my virtual and began rubbing. There I was being virtually groped in a snowy fortress with my brother-in-law and husband watching. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
what's the point though? What do you
Don't
get?
do that.
What do you get out of that though? Like,
Don't do that. I don't understand how that works though. Like, it would be annoying. Like if it was Grand Theft Auto, I'd just shoot him. But I don't understand how that.
Can't you like fight back or something? Like, can't the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that's-
Like you could do that, but you can't.
If you're able to get groped, I feel like you would be able to kill somebody in this game.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Well,
It seems
maybe
like no
you
rules
have,
apply.
like, maybe it's like you don't have player versus player damage or something like that. But still, don't molest people in video games. It's like people who teabag in Halo. Just don't do it. What are you doing? Like, and like
Maybe-
this woman has a great point. I think people should keep in mind that sexual harassment has never had to be a physical thing, says Jesse Fox, an associate professor at Ohio State University who researches the social implications of virtual reality. It can be verbal, and yes, it can be virtual as well.
that's a fact.
That's a
That's
fact
true.
too. Man, just keep your
maybe
hands to
we-
yourself. Your virtual
we
hands
need-
to yourself.
Maybe we need meta police. You think they would beat the hell out of black people too?
Oh yeah. You just went on a whole different.
That would be interesting.
You just went on a whole different subject.
I guess it depends on what you're, because like the whole point of the metaverse is supposed to be like an extension of the real world, but you can have more fun in it. But like already you're seeing people get molested and just assaulted. Like you can't go on Xbox and not be called a slur. Even if you do well in a game, someone will message you and say, "Hey, pussy, that was great." And like you get abused instantly. So like, until there's like some actual safeguards or expectations, like they have installed a 4-foot safety bubble automatically around your characters now on Facebook's meta. But like, oof.
Well, aren't they supposed to be putting 6 feet away from each other since we in COVID still? Is there a meta variant? And there's so many questions that we need to figure this out.
Yeah, but the cheating question that's a good one.
The whole point of this is that fucking like we're probably gonna kill ourselves like as humans. Like there's definitely gonna be a robot takeover sooner or later. Hopefully, I don't see
We're
it.
evolving too fast. Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to say too fast because I mean that's what we do as people, or hopefully we're supposed to do is evolve. But like it's just getting to the point where it's gonna not be a need for people after a certain time. It's not gonna be a need for anybody.
I mean, that's what they're saying global warming was, right? We're killing the earth basically. Dave, is that right? Or am I tripping?
Our carbon dioxide problem is leading to more severe and drastic weather patterns that could change the future of our world, and it already is in some places.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
You know, we're visitors on the earth. You know what I mean? Like, it's Mother Earth. She's gonna fix her problems, bro. She feels like it's a problem. It's gonna get fixed somehow. She's gonna have an earthquake, some natural type of disaster to fix her problems, bro. So she's gonna take care of herself.
So are we unwanted? So you said we're visitors. That's interesting. Are we unwanted? Are we unwanted visitors?
Unwanted.
Can the Earth survive without human life?
Yeah, I'm saying the Earth will be better off without human life, bro. Yes, But
Okay.
the Earth
So I want it.
the Earth is its own living, breathing. I don't know. I don't even know the words, bro. But
We need
living-
Joe Alexander on this. We need Joe Alexander on this
that's
show
a fact.
right now.
With Pat White,
This would be Pat both.
one of them. But I want to know because I was on Grand Theft Auto. I picked up a hooker and we had sex. Is that cheating? I don't get it, Dave.
Or the character in the game.
The character is Jay Flow.
I'm telling Jess.
What would you tell her? What would you tell her, Dave? I'm curious. John picked up a
He's
hooker.
in Vice City. Who's supposed to be in Uruguay. He's out there seeking paid sex workers. You know, this is unacceptable.
That's hilarious.
So if you pay for it and it's their job, is that cheating?
Nah, that's cheating.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just like any profession. Like you pay for a service, and
are you betraying an emotional trust?
It's not
With
emotional. It's physical.
Right, but you have that emotional trust with someone that they won't think of other people.
okay, this is all right. All right, cool. I'm glad we got on this topic right now. All right, so
Wormholes with the
worm
final four guys.
it keeps on going. So, do you think you can love somebody and still cheat on them? Is that a thing?
I do.
Because
Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto.
yeah, John is going for meta hookers.
I don't think like
Yes.
the older I get, bro,
Mhm.
the less I put the importance of sex. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sex is just sex, bro. Like it's not really that big of a deal to me. Like you want to get off for your one, you want to just have fun or whatever you want to do for your 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, however long. You know what I mean? Like this has nothing to do with the person you love. You know what I mean? To me.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to, I think, differentiate the two because I mean you could speak for yourself, but then about the other person, you know what I mean? Like that it might be happening, or you might be the person that it's happening to, and the other person's cheating or whatever. So it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hard to differentiate that, but that's why I'm like, is there a situation where you could say you truly love somebody and whatever, like something happens, or does context matter? Like how it happened? Like, does it matter? Like I don't know.
I
Ask
used to
myself
think
these
like
things.
I really honestly don't believe that man was made to be with one person. You know what I mean? There's so many people in the world. It's like it's kind of crazy, but and it's kind of even crazier coming from a married man. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like a social construct that everybody just came along with. You know what I'm saying? The concept
Yeah.
of marriage, I think.
And I also think because there's places where people like polygamy, where you have more than one wife, more than one girlfriend, and it's perfectly acceptable in that culture. So who is one culture to say that another culture is not right for the way they do stuff?
Yeah.
But is that polygamy based in the patriarchy where men believe that they can have X amount of wives, but the women can't have X amount of husbands?
Based on the religion, I don't know, bro.
But and I'm not saying this right or wrong, but I'm just like these are like questions in my mind that I think about, because it's like with anything, I don't know, man. Like you said, the older I get, there's a lot of gray area to a lot of different situations. Like there is not always black and white to something, and that's why I don't know. It's kind of hard to say like who are we to say as a people what's wrong and right to do.
Exactly. But when I was younger, like I used to think like, all right, if my girlfriend cheated on me, like, or if Jess cheated on me, it's over. Like, there's no coming back from that. It's done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but now it's like you said, it's context behind it. Why did you cheat? What's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened? Like, it's more than that than just leaving. Like, I can kind of look past that now just because I see life bigger than just sex. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just about sex. Like, all right, you had your fun.
Yeah. So I guess like Dave mentioned it there's some religions that say, a man can do this, but a woman can't do this, whatever. They can't have multiple, or if they do, they're looked at as a hoe. So it's like, do you think that's fair? Or
I think that's messed up. Like that's like, we both played overseas, bro. I think that's an American thing too. Like when you go to Europe or South America or any other place, bro, these women are out here having the times of their life, bro. Like some other places, like they don't look at it as being a hoe. Like they just look at it as living life, enjoying life. You know what I mean? Like I think we're the only ones that put an emphasis on females or shaming females sexually for being sexually free. And I think it's kind of messed up, bro. Like honestly, now that I'm looking at it. But at the same time, no one wants a girl or wants to settle down with a girl that has done all that. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I don't know, bro. It's kind of weird.
I think it's a time limit on stuff. I think it's like if you meet a chick and she did stuff, like let's just say you meet her 5 years after y'all graduated college and she was liberated in college. Let's just say that. But she's not now a totally different person, totally different mindset. But then somebody come up to you, they look at you and they know the liberated version of her. And they're like, yo, this is what she used to do. You gonna look at her totally different now, right? Or you gonna still be like, nah, I'm only looking at her for what she is right now.
That's what Drea said, though. Drea said your wholeness can be deleted. So you believe that?
I don't think it could be deleted. I think it could be overlooked. It can be like, it's not going away. You did what you did. Like there's gonna be somebody who knows you, who knows what you did. Like it can't be taken away.
So flip side, Kev, we joke about like you putting it about a bit overseas. Like, do you think that it's fair that, men are cheered for their conquest, but here you're saying like, well, that girl was a hoe. Like, what's the difference?
No, that's why I didn't say her, I said liberated. But nah, but I do think the older I get, I think it's messed up. Because we do, like, if you have a son, I'd be like, if my son came to me, I'd be like, oh yo, you like, Dad, I'm not a virgin anymore. I'm like, oh yo, good shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like that'd be my first thing, is kind of like being kind of proud. I ain't gonna lie to you.
See,
like
that's the problem, bro, right there, what you just said. Like that's the old me would have thought that way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think as men growing up in America, bro, we put too much emphasis on manhood, being a man, or manhood into sex. Just because you have sex with somebody, you know what I'm saying, that it shouldn't be related to being a man, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like we praise like, oh, we had sex with this girl, or oh yeah, like we always talk about it, like that's the topic of conversation, that's the focal point of why everybody goes out, that's the focal point of everything. Like, and we put too much emphasis on that, bro. Like, and that's not really what being a man is about, you know what I mean?
I agree.
How many girls you can have sex with. Like I know I had teammates in college that used to keep track of how many girls they had sex with. Like it was kind of weird.
Yeah, I know teammates too that did that. I know teammates that did that too. To end it, but I agree with what you're saying, man. Like we gotta find a way to get out of this habit of the more girls you sleep with, or the more people, like that's what makes you cool, or that's what makes you popular, or a man or something. We definitely got to get out of it, because it's just like it's a bad cycle, and it keeps on continuing throughout your life, because now that's what you're gonna equate being successful to, kinda, in a way. It's like, yo, if I don't do this, I can't settle down, because if I don't do this, I'm not cool anymore. I'm not a man, I'm not whatever anymore. So that's what we equate it to.
Yeah, we're not focusing on treating girls the right way, you know what I'm saying? We're focusing on treating girls like sluts, basically.
Yeah.
They're just objects. It's not like, oh, I had sex with my girlfriend. It's just, how many girls can I have sex with?
Yeah.
I want to get laid tonight. And like, damn, you did, like, that's basically guys keeping track of how many girls they have sex with. Basically like a competition. Like,
facts.
Not even thinking about what that's doing to the female. You know what I mean? Like, not even thinking like that could have put some trauma on her or whatever. You just using and say, all right, get the hell out of here. Even though
Yeah.
she was
Eh.
ready.
That's a fact. And we also can't act like girls don't be doing they shit too. Like, and there's a lot of guys out here that has trauma from women too, because they've done something and now the guy is like, yo, I can't trust women anymore. So I'm gonna just do my shit. I'm not caring about no other woman's feelings, and that's how we rocking. So there's that dynamic too.
I definitely got some trauma for some girl. I mean, that's basically how it starts, bro. Like,
it's a bad
girl,
cycle.
Girl cheat on you in like high school. Like, that's what happened to me. I can speak for myself. Girl cheated on me in high school, and I'm for the rest of my life, I'm like, man, these bitches ain't shit.
Yeah. That's how you
know what I mean? And that's not the reality of it, you know what I mean? But you just kind of see like, dang, man, don't you get your hopes up. Like, you getting your heart broken is probably the worst feeling, bro. Like, like that depression that you're in for like a month. And then after that, to not get your heart broken no more, like you put a ice box on it. Like, you're just not letting nobody in. Like,
facts.
Yeah, so
Facts.
We just gotta get out of that kind of. I don't know. So
we all have trauma, man. We gotta deal with our trauma. That's
Metaverse and get yourself internet girlfriend.
Facts.
Or just go down and get yourself a hooker from Vice City. Is your
sounds like girlfriend or boyfriend causing you grief? Just disconnect and walk away.
Even further down the wormhole, though, wouldn't that make sex work? Like, wouldn't that make it more valuable?
What? For
like,
what do you mean?
Instead of going out and guys going out and, you know, some guys, they have like fake relationships. Like, they act like they're interested in a girl just to have sex with her.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing that, they can go, like in Amsterdam, prostitution is legal. So you can just go get a prostitute for $40 and have sex to satisfy yourself that way instead of breaking this girl's heart.
Instead of actually getting a girlfriend?
Instead of going out, acting like you're interested in a girl, like you want something further, and then having sex with her and never speaking to her again.
I think also, I think that's true. But I think also a lot of times is that I feel like as guys, we think we're ready when we're really not. Like, we want to be ready for a relationship. Like, we want everything that comes with a relationship besides the commitment. Like, all the sex, all the, you know, what girls can do for us. You know, they can drive us around, whether it's driving us around, whether it's cooking for us, whether it's giving us their only attention. We want all that, but the commitment. That's the one thing. Like,
I mean, what's the commitment though? Like,
I'm just like the commitment of not talking to nobody else.
Does that mean you're not ready though to have a girl? Because like we said though, like monogamy, I'm pretty sure that's the word, is a social construct, bro.
That's true too. That's true.
Just because you're.
So what do you say about the animals that have been observed in nature having one partner for life, like penguins?
I think that's the only animal.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Pelicans, I think too.
Negative.
But again, there's animals in nature who don't have just one. There's more animals in nature who are polygamous, so to speak, than there are monogamous relationships. So it's like when that's nature. Like, this is, you know what I mean? This is supposed to be like most natural thing. So what can we draw from that?
It's kind of, I don't know, bro.
It's crazy to think about, but yeah, you're right, John. Like, I don't know, how can I say somebody's not ready if it is a social construct?
Yeah. Dave pulled up a article that says a bunch of birds mate for life. So I don't agree. But dogs out here humping everybody.
I think if you do find somebody, you can be committed. I don't think it's impossible for you to commit to somebody for the rest of your life.
It's not on the other person though. Like, if my wife cheated on me, that has nothing to do with me. That's on her. Like, that's how she feels. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter who you're with. Like, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. She's arguably one of the best looking girls around here. You know what I mean? Like, it has nothing to do with Beyonce. That's on Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You know what it all comes down to in the end? just talking to your partner and having an adult conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Tristan Thompson talked to Chloe and was like, yo, I cannot, like, yo, I love you to death, but I still need to, you know what I'm
To
saying?
be out, yeah. To be
Yeah,
outside.
like, I'm pretty sure Chloe would have understood that, like, all right,
Yeah.
take your time. We could do this. I think she would have worked with him on that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's like wanting to, I guess, have your cake and eat it too, because it's like you wanna be real, but at the same time, you know what comes with being real is like this person that you really do like or love will not agree with what you gotta say or like your demand or whatever to also be with other women. So we just try to curve that and be.
That's why I think like your partner, a life partner, that's how you know if you got the right person, bro. They're not going to shame you for being vulnerable, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're going to appreciate that. Like if Jess came to me and was like, yo, would you rather, if Jess came to me and said, hey, I cheated on you, I would appreciate her honesty. I'll be hurt, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But as her life partner, I would appreciate the honesty instead of her going behind my back and just doing everything behind my back, not saying anything about it.
Yeah.
So that's where a life partner comes in, like, and I would have to respect that. I wouldn't leave her for that, just off the strength that she was honest with me up front. She was vulnerable, and that's the thing about men in general. Going further down the wormhole, like we taught to be tough guys, don't show inner vulnerability, and girls are taught that men are supposed to be tough, strong, not show any vulnerability, and then when they do, it's like, oh, like you're soft. I don't want a guy like that. Like it's full circle, bro.
So what about when you guys call the young players soft for not wanting to play with a concussion?
We didn't.
Nobody called
But
us
I'm
off.
saying like, but I'm just saying like in general, there's been conversations where we've had where like, oh, kids these days are too soft. They can't take criticism. So like, where
There's
does
the
that
social
messing
media
with come?
stuff.
I mean, that's dealing with the sport though. Like you're playing a sport. Kind of got to be tough playing that sport, no?
I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. Do you not have to have a certain level of toughness to play football?
If you want to
Cricket,
be
on the other
good,
hand, we're good on.
Yeah, I don't think that okay, so I think there gets to a point where that might be shaming in the way you, again, everything's about context. Like if somebody breaks their leg on a court and is physically not capable of playing in the game, then yeah, like if we say get him out there, or he's soft because this dude's bone is sticking out his leg and he can't play no more. That's a different story than somebody getting something that I guess it's all perspective, because I deem like a concussion like you can still play 3 minutes, or I would like to say you can still play 3 minutes with certain. I guess, Coach Huggins says the difference between being injured and being hurt. So I think if you're hurt, you can play through that. But
I see what Dave's trying to do. I understand that, but yeah, I don't think it's the same, bro. Like you could be tough and vulnerable at the same. I think being vulnerable is a sign of toughness, actually.
Like putting yourself out there to be vulnerable is
brave,
because
brave as fuck.
You can act and put on a face and not let anybody in, like, but then that's not.
I think gay people are the strongest people on this planet, bro. Like that are openly gay.
Yeah,
that's tough to like come out and say that, and knowing that it's socially like not accepted. You know what I mean? Like people are gonna look at you differently. I think they're the toughest people on the planet, bro. For real.
I agree.
But everybody looks at them as soft, and it's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I do.
I mean, I
think anybody that goes against the norm, anybody that goes against like the masses' belief is tough. Because you want people to be on your side. You want people to, agree with your standpoint on things. And when that doesn't happen, I think that takes a certain level of toughness to stand on what you believe in and stand on who you are as a person. So I think anybody that fits that mold that's brave to me.
Go out there every day and be Ethan, and that is just
takes so much courage.
Yeah, let's not
slippers to class.
You know how brave that is, though.
Yeah, let's not go further into the wormhole.
Yeah, let's.
But
let's
honestly,
end it.
though, that's like
Conversation.
the best freedom of life when you don't even care about what anyone else thinks about you. Like you just do whatever you want to do, bro. Like that's the best feeling in the world, bro.
But do you? Okay, all right. I don't want to keep on going because we'll go for 2 hours.
We can go 5 more minutes.
Can we split this into like 2 episodes? I think we going like a minute 30.
We could go 5 more minutes into.
Okay, so here's my thing. Is anybody ever 100% carefree? Like you don't care what anybody thinks, your family, is anybody ever that free? I don't think so. You can not give a shit to most people, but there's somebody that you look to that you care about enough to be like, yo, I care what that person thinks. I don't think anybody is just 100% give no fucks about anybody, what anybody has to say.
Yeah, it's probably not 100%, but I don't know. It's probably not always going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you need the things that you keep close to you, and not everyone needs to know everything about your life or what you do or what you believe in. Like, shut up.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever like 100%, but like I think like the little things, like I'm gonna wear this today. I don't care what anyone says, or I'm gonna wear it. Like day-to-day things.
Yeah.
Or in your normal life. Like this is what I'm gonna do. Like I really wore number 69 this year because I told myself this is gonna be a stress-free year, to remind myself that this is a stress-free year. I'm not gonna stress out about basketball this year. I'm gonna have fun and just do me. I don't care what anyone thinks about what I do on this court this year.
It could have been better ways to do that, but all right. But we all you gotta have your way of doing that.
What was y'all first reaction to wearing number 69?
I didn't even know that I thought that was a joke.
I mean, that's exactly carefree, baby.
We
don't
go.
care. But it makes it more like you just do it when you actually are able to do exactly what you want to do instead of trying to live life, trying to please other people and make other people happy. Then that's when you're truly free, bro. I think.
Yeah, I agree. Man. Live your life, man. But I just don't like the whole the extreme of it. Like people like, I give 0 fucks. I give no, like that's the most annoying phrase ever because that's not true.
It's to an extent. Like you give 0 fucks as long as it doesn't affect anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like I give 0 fucks about driving fast, but when you're in a fucking neighborhood going 100 miles per hour, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You should give a fuck about that. You should care about that. You should care about other people's safety. You should care about wearing a mask if you're going to give them COVID.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. But these are the people that saying I
haven't met anyone on that level of not giving a fuck. Have you?
There are people out there, bro.
Have you met someone who personally?
I've
never met anyone.
No. Nah, I'm not. Nah, I'm not.
What he said?
Nah.
His name's Truck Bryant.
Nah, Truck cares. Truck cares.
Truck is actually an emotional person, bro.
Yeah, Truck is. Yeah.
Darius Nichols was supposed to be on the show today, but he said everyone that played at WVU from 2004 to 2022 feels like they were teammates with Truck Bryant.
Facts.
That's a fact.
Which is great that he can impact people's lives like that.
Yeah, like he's everyone feels like they're close to Truck, like they know Truck. Like that's cool. That's dope to me.
Yeah. He's a person that like he commands attention, like whatever room he's in. It doesn't matter what room he's in, with who he's in, like you're gonna know who he is.
Usually because he just bucks through the door and says, "What's up?"
His level is up there though. He's probably one of the highest levels of not giving a fuck. He's probably one that
he's on the higher spectrum. Yeah, he's
spectrum.
I like it though because I think my level. I mean, I won't say necessarily just from him, but just growing as I get older, is just stop caring so much about what people think or whatever to a certain extent. If it's not like you said, if it's not hurting them, if it's not bothering anybody else, why should I give a fuck about what somebody else Thanks.
Exactly. The same reason why people hate Chuck is the same reason why people love Chuck.
Love him. Exactly.
You gotta be yourself. Be yourself.
Exactly.
Help spread the word about our podcast. Leave us a review and tell a friend.
But
Word.
yeah, we'll end the wormhole right now.
That was a good one, man.
Yeah,
I feel like we
Dave.
had a therapy session there.
But this has been another episode of Final Forecast with me, Jay Flow. Got my guy KJ with me.
Yep.
Ethan.
Good.
He said about 100 words today.
Yeah. Should have raised my hand more.
I've never said that. So. You could speak whenever you want to speak. There's only me and KJ just doing all the work today, so it's cool. Like, super producer Dave.
Yeah, man.
We'll be glad to get Ash back.
Yeah, can we
Save
you
it
think
for
she
when-
would mind? Okay, all right. All right, we'll just save it for one. All right, cool.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shut